Hey everybody, welcome to Music, Movies and Adda. Today I have with me my closest friend Somu. Somu is a fellow music lover and himself an extraordinary singer and musician. Somu, thanks for joining us today on Music, Movies and Adda.
Hi everyone, this is Somo joining in from Atlanta.
So today the topic we have chosen for today's session is R.D. Burman, Burman, the music maestro. So let's talk about you know about R.D. Burman's musical career and share our impressions about him. So let's get started. So R.D. Burman, as most of us fans would know, was born in 1939, 27 June, and he was born to Bollywood composer Sachin Dev Burman or S.D. Burman, and his mother was Meera Dev Burman, who was also a lyricist. He was born in Calcutta, and his initial nickname was Tublu, that was given to him by his maternal grandmother. And later, of course, he was more popularly known as Pancham. Somu, anything to
Yeah.
add to that?
No, I think they say that if you grow up around music, it naturally has a big influence on you if you are listening to music. And I'm sure he got so much exposure to music the whole time being S.D. Burman's son. And he probably was rubbing shoulders with all the greatest of greats like Kishore Kumar and all these other great singers from his childhood days before even he started composing. And so it must have been such a learning curve for him and learning experience just to be in those sittings when they were composing songs. Because in those days, both singers used to be there at the same time and it was a different kind of recording. So yeah, it was, I think that had probably a huge influence, and he happens to be one of my favorite, if not the most favorite music directors in Hindi commercial cinema. So of
So,
all
so, so,
time.
if I have to ask you, what comes to your mind when I say the name R.D. Burman or Panchamda? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
My first thing would be ahead of his times. That's what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of his goes to do is also what diverse music he used to listen to. He used to not just listen to Indian music, as you can obviously tell from some of his songs, and I will touch more on that later. But you can tell that he was not just listening to English music or Iranian music or somewhere else. He was listening to music from all over. That's why it's only now that we realize some of our favorite R.D. Burman songs are direct copies of other songs. But yeah, it's hard to. In fact, some of my most favorite ones are. But credit
Right.
goes to him. I think, we give flack to Annu Malik and all these guys, but I think if you are inspired and you do copy a song from someone else, I think there's nothing wrong if the final product is really good and you are exposing people from your country and people who normally wouldn't have heard that to something really ahead of its time. And the reason I think is because it's so eclectic. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not uh, saying it in that fashion, but I think it played a huge role. And Asha Bhosle, like for example, jokingly says that sometimes he used to play a song to me and then he says, "इससे थोड़ा inspire होके गाना ये गाना."
No. So I agree. I completely echo your sentiments. When I think about R.D. Burman, of course, the first thing that comes to my mind is a maverick, right? He was definitely a maverick music director, a genius, ahead of its times, and most people might not know this, but during his heydays, he did not get as much credit as he should have got. If R.D. Burman was present today, his stature would have been possibly even bigger than A.R. Rahman's. He never got his due during his heydays. Uh, the funny thing is, most of the remixes today are remixes of his song, and his songs still don't sound dated. They
No,
still seem contemporary, and you're right. His influences were extremely varied. he had a lot of Western influence. I think one of the reasons he had to create almost a new genre of music in Indian cinema, because that was the only way he could stand out. Because there were a lot of really, really good and established music directors. His father, S.D. Burman, Shankar Jaikishan, then later on Lakshmikant Pyarelal. So he definitely had to do something that made him stand out. And one of the reasons why he did not get his due back then, because his music had that Western influence, and back then people used to look at that very, very negatively. And that is one of the reasons why he was not as big as he should have been, based on his the music that he created. So that's something I thought was very interesting.
No, I mean, just maverick, you said, is the right word, because tell me one other music director whose first movie that he ever gave music for is something like Tisri Manzil. I mean, I don't think so.
So I'll tell you. So that's a perfect segue to our next discussion, right? So R.D. Burman, when initially he got into music, he was basically assisting his father, and his first composition, which was actually used in a movie, was for a movie called Fantoosh. So S.D. Burman was the music director. Fantoosh was a movie that had Devanand. And the song he composed, R.D. Burman composed, and which S.D. Burman ended up using, was a song called "Ae Meri Topi Palat Keya."
Okay.
That was the first song he actually created. And
did he get credit for it or not really?
No, he did not, because he was working under his father, and he was not a full-fledged music director. So S.D. Burman still got the credit, but he was the one who had created that song. Also, an interesting trivia: the famous song, pictured on Johnny Walker, "Sar Jo Tera Chakraye," the one from Pyasa, that tune was actually created by R.D. Burman.
Okay.
Which S.D. Burman ended up using. So
he must have been really young at that point, though.
He was very, very young. So this was he was 18. He was about 17 or 18 years old when he created the music for song "Sar Jo Tera Chakraye." And then he continued to assist S.D. Burman in movies like "Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi," "Kagaz Ke Phool," "Tere Ghar Ke Samne," "Teen Deviya." So he was assisting S.D. Burman. But his first movie that he was, he became an independent music director, was a movie called "Chote Nawab."
Oh, okay.
So
that was before Tisri Manzil.
It was before Tisri Manzil. Choti Nawab was in 1961, and Tisri Manzil was his first big hit. So in that way, that was his first successful movie, Tisri Manzil. Of course, the music of Tisri Manzil is evergreen, and we all know about it. And we'll get into talking about songs and about some of his songs in detail in the next section. But yeah, this is how R.D. Burman started his career as a music director. Started off by assisting S.D. Burman, and then gradually, got into becoming an independent music director.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the personal life, front, R.D. Burman married Rita Patel. That Rita Patel was his first wife. They got married in 1966. Rita Patel was a big R.D. Burman fan, so he actually married his fan, which was interesting. They stayed married for about 5 years, and then of course they parted ways. And then R.D. Burman then in 1980 married Asha Bhosle, and he stayed married to her until he passed away in 1994. So that's a little bit about his personal life.
But he didn't have any kids from both his marriages, right?
That's correct. That's correct. Now let's get into his journey as a music director, right? So one big time director who had a major role in R.D. Burman's career was Nasir Hussain. So Nasir Hussain is basically Amir Khan's uncle, and Tisri Manzil was the first time he had R.D. Burman giving music, but then he ended up taking him in his next 5-6 big movies. Tisri
Manzil was also not supposed to go to R.D. Burman originally, right?
Correct.
S.D.
So I
Burman
think initially S.D. Burman was supposed to do it, but there was some issue regarding his price, and then they decided to give R.D. Burman a chance, and Tisri Manzil was definitely a game changer when it came to Hindi movie music, especially the kind of songs it had. Um, the Western influence again, right? Oh Hasina and Aja Aja, those songs are memorable. I mean, we still
And
remember.
all their remixes are also such big hits right now.
Correct,
That's
correct,
the crazy
correct,
part.
correct. Correct. So Nasir Hussain played a major role in his career. Tisri Manzil, Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi, Zamane Ko Dikhana Hai, Pyar Ka Mausam, bunch of other movies which had R.D. Burman music. Then the actor, I think Rajesh Khanna also benefited immensely from R.D. Burman's music, right? Kati Patang, Amar Prem, and the list goes on. Mehbooba,
Gujarat.
Daag. Yeah, yeah. So again, endless. The list is endless. Kishore Kumar, again, was one of his favorites.
Yeah.
Kishore Kumar possibly sung the most number of songs for R.D. Burman, followed by Asha Bhosle, Lata Mangeshkar, and Mohammad Rafi. But Kishore Kumar has been a favorite. And when we'll talk about some R.D. Burman interesting stories, we'll talk about his connection to Kishore Kumar, because he shared a very, very special relationship with Kishore Kumar, and hence they actually combined in so many different movies and extraordinary compositions. Another little trivia about R.D. Burman: three singers of I would say of not current times, but singers who became popular later on actually debuted for R.D. Burman. Abhijit actually sung first time in a well-known movie was for R.D. Burman. It was a movie called Anand Hi Anand. Devanand was introducing his son in movies, and that's where Abhijit sang for R.D. Burman. Also, a lesser known fact is that Hariharan first time sang for R.D. Burman in a movie called Boxer. It was a song called Shadmani, and that's where Hariharan made his first appearance as a playback singer in a movie.
It's not a Hindi song, is it?
No, it's a Hindi song. It's a song called Shadmani. Movie had Mithun Chakravarti, Rati Agnihotri, and Danny. So Hariharan sang one song. Also Muhammad Aziz. Muhammad Aziz became really popular in the 80s, but the first time he got a big song was for R.D. Burman movie called Shiva Ka Insaf. It was India's first 3D movie starring Jackie Shroff. So that's a little bit of trivia.
Was this after Muhammad Rafi had already passed away?
Passed away, yes, that's correct. Muhammad Rafi passed away in 1981.
Because Muhammad Aziz kind of was trying to fill that void, it felt like almost.
That's correct. Shabir Kumar and Muhammad Aziz were the ones who were trying to fill the void left by Muhammad Rafi. Okay. Now, before we talk about his awards and his amazing music, let's talk about some famous stories about R.D. Burman, or Panchamda, as he was popularly known. So, do you know how R.D. Burman got his name Pancham?
No, was he singing in the Pancham Sur of the scale?
So yeah, I mean, so let me just elaborate a little bit.
I don't know who gave him that name though.
So there are a couple of theories, right? One theory was, when he was born, as a kid, he used to cry, and he would, cry in the fifth note, which is Pancham, Pa, and that's why he got the name. The other theory behind this is Ashok Kumar actually gave him this name. So Ashok Kumar was very close to Sachin Dev Burman, and as a kid, looks like R.D. Burman used to keep saying pa 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 quite a lot, and that's why Ashok Kumar supposed to have given the name. So there are a couple of theories, but obviously it had something to do with the fifth note, right? Pancham note, and that's why he got the name. So which was again interesting. The other interesting story is about how R.D. Burman met Kishore Kumar. So Sachin Dev Burman and Ashok Kumar were really close, right? They were very close. Sachin Dev Burman had given music in a lot of Ashok Kumar movies. They knew each other very well. And this guy, R.D. Burman, of course, was assisting Sachin Dev Burman. One time he was in the studios, they were shooting a movie. So there was this crazy guy who looked older than R.D. Burman. R.D. Burman was in the studio, and he was looking at this crazy guy who was regaling all the people in the sets with his antics. He was dancing, he was making faces, and S.D. Burman, R.D. Burman didn't know who this guy was. So he just saw Kishore Kumar from a distance, and he decided to come closer and see what is this guy doing. And that's when he saw this guy who was, playing all these antics with the people on the sets. As soon as Kishore Kumar saw R.D. Burman, he ended up addressing him like, "Hey, ye to Pancham hai, ye to SD da ka beta hai," and that's how their friendship started. And the moment this, in one of the interviews R.D. Burman gave, R.D. Burman had mentioned this, that the first time when he saw Kishore Kumar on the set, he knew that this guy was crazy, and I definitely want to continue to work with this guy in whatever capacity. That time he didn't even know that Kishore Kumar was a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So that is their first chance meeting. Kishore Kumar, was 10 years older than R.D. Burman, but they still shared a very, very close friendship, until the day Kishore Kumar passed away. So yeah, that's a interesting story about how R.D. Burman met Kishore Kumar.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
So Somu, do you have any stories? Because I have another very interesting story about R.D. Burman.
No, go ahead.
So Padosan, right? Padosan was a movie directed by Mehmood. And Mehmood, again, was another actor who was very, very close to R.D. Burman. Mehmood and R.D. Burman were so good friends that Mehmood actually casted R.D. Burman in one of his movies as well. It was a movie called Bhoot Bangla. So R.D. Burman not only gave music for that movie, but he also had a role in that movie as Mehmood's friend. So they were very close. So Padosan, Mehmood had planned to make Padosan, and he approached R.D. Burman. So R.D. Burman, again, was known for his melodious music, but which with a Western twang to his compositions. And this guy approached R.D. Burman, said, "I want you in this movie, but we are going to have a classical element to some of my songs." So R.D. Burman's initial reaction was, "Are you sure you want me to make the music of this movie?"
Mm-hmm.
And Mehmood was very adamant that, "Yes, I want you to be the music director, but this is my requirement." So R.D. Burman had to really push himself, and of course, he came up with Chatur Nar and all the other great compositions of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the other interesting story about Padosan was, when they were shooting the song Chatur Nar, so Kishore Kumar was going to sing for Sunil Dutt, and Manna Dey was going to sing for Mehmood. And the musical battle they have, eventually at the end, Sunil Dutt, who's the hero of the film, would win, which means Kishore Kumar would win. So
Yeah,
Manna Dey actually,
that went well with Manna Dey.
It didn't go well with Manna Dey. Manna Dey actually argued that, how could I lose to Kishore Kumar? I am a classically trained singer, and Kishore is not. So, his ego played a major role initially, and R.D. Burman and Mehmood had to do a lot of convincing to Manna Dey that, he was providing his voice only for a character. So this had nothing to do with reality. And then finally he agreed to sing the song. But it's interesting, right, that these some of these geniuses, they, at times they might have these silly ego issues where, things could go haywire because of their egos. But again, I thought this was very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, especially because if someone is a very much classically trained singer and he has to lose to someone who just sings and he just has a God's gift and his voice, basically, then that's when the problem comes in.
And I don't want to digress too much, but Manna Dey always had that feeling against Kishore Kumar until he passed away. Now if you hear Manna Dey, he has a lot of good things to say about Kishore Kumar, but initially he was very distressed by Kishore Kumar's success.
Yeah. He was nowhere close in terms of being successful, so that is true.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we can get back to RD. Yeah.
RD, right. So I think I want to spend a few minutes just talking about RD Burman's Bengali compositions, right? So as you know, RD Burman, this trend was started by SD Burman, Salil Chaudhary, and the other music directors, where what they would do in Calcutta during Durga Puja, they would release songs those songs used to be called Pujo Shankar songs.
Mm-hmm.
And they would release these songs, the songs which would become really popular, they would then make the same songs in Hindi.
Hindi.
So this trend, of course, started with SD and Salil Chaudhary and the likes, and then R.D. Burman continued on their footsteps. Another interesting fact: R.D. Burman actually considered Salil Chaudhary to be his guru.
Okay.
So he obviously, even he definitely looked up to his father, but Salil Chaudhary was another music director he really, really loved, and he considered him to be his unofficial guru. So this just another bit of trivia about R.D. Burman.
Yeah. No.
So some of R.D. Burman's very, very popular songs, I have a few examples and I list those, were actually composed in Bangla first. They became super hits in Bangla, and then they were made into Hindi. Somu, your camera is a little hazy right now, the picture. Something happened. The image is not that clear.
Not sure. I'm seeing it clear on my screen.
Do you want to switch it off and switch it on again?
Okay, I can do that. How about now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
It's absolutely clear now.
Not sure what happened.
Okay, so you want to talk about a few of his songs that were made in Bengali initially and then got made into Hindi?
Well, one of them is the one you sang recently on Smule.
Which one?
Jeevan Ke Har Mode Pe.
Right. Yeah.
That one is one. Then there is one that I recently sang on Smule, which is
Meri
Anamika.
Bhigi Bhigi Si.
Yeah, those were the two that come to my mind, and both were hits in Bengali as well as in Hindi.
Yeah. So some of the other songs were, of course, Pyar Deewana Hota Hai. That was also made in Bangla first. Then the very famous song from Aadhi, Tere Bina Zindagi Se Koi.
Yeah.
That was a song called Jete Jete Pothe Holo Deri.
Jete Jete Pothe Holo Deri. Taito Parini Jete Parini. Yeah.
So again.
But I think a lot of these songs, the Bengali versions, are sung by himself, right?
Yeah. You're right. A lot of these songs, he used to sing them himself in most cases. I mean, some of them was also sung by Kishore Kumar in Bangla, but Meri Bhigi Bhigi Si, Mone Pore Rubirai was originally sung by R.D. Burman himself, right? And
Jete Jete Pothe Holo Deri also.
Correct.
But he had that sensibility that when he makes it in Hindi, he didn't try to sing it all himself. He knew what's going to be more profitable and for the business as well. And he knew Kishore Kumar singing those songs would be a much better idea. Although I really love his singing in the Bengali versions. It's really like from the heart.
So since you mentioned that, what is your favorite song that R.D. Burman has sung himself?
My favorite song? Well, in Bengali, it is Ruby Rai, I would say. Mone Pore Ruby Rai. In Hindi, I would say, I just really like it because I don't think anyone else could have sung it like him at the time, was Mehbooba Mehbooba from Sholay.
Okay. So my favorite song of R.D. Burman that he has sung himself is Dhanno. Dhanno Ki Aankhon Mein.
Oh, that is also a very good one. Yeah. That is Zamane Ko Dikhana Hai or nahi?
No, I think that's I believe, if I'm not, it's Vidhata.
Vidhata, yeah. That's a really good song, of course.
And of course, I love the composition itself, right? I mean, the tune, the melody, but the way he sung it.
And the whistle of the train coming between.
Yeah. So that's my favorite song of R.D. Burman that he sung himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think most of the
even that one they made again in some movie. Yes, now I can't remember the name. They used the whole song, like remade the whole song in another movie.
Yeah. So now, the rest of the podcast, I think we'll end up discussing his songs in details, right? So yes. Let's start by so tell me your top 3 R.D. Burman albums. So when I say album, movie albums, so I'm looking for movies which had like multiple memorable songs. So you go first, name your 3 R.D. Burman movies, and then we'll talk about the songs. And then
I really like.
I know it's a very, very difficult thing to do considering his his body of work. It's very difficult to pick three, but let's try doing it.
I will start with Tisri Manzil.
Mm-hmm.
Then, for obvious reasons, I mean, it was such, like we discussed before, what was so special about that. But then there is another movie in which the music was poles apart from Tisri Manzil, which was Amar Prem.
Mm-hmm.
In that, some of these songs like Rehna Biti Jaye, it doesn't sound like this is R.D. Burman. At the time, it was like, wow, this guy can do this as well. Because Kuch To Log Kahenge, Rehna Biti Jaye, all these songs, like they were just so different from his other.
But Rehna Biti Jaye, wasn't it Parichay?
No, it was Amar Prem.
Okay.
Amar Prem. Sharmila Tagore.
So which was your favorite song from Tisri Manzil?
Tisri Manzil, it was actually, might surprise you, but I really liked the song Tumne Mujhe Dekha Hokar Meherba. Just the way the music goes and everything, and it's a very unique composition. And of course, all the fast songs also, the drumming, and he had like such a good orchestra. But I like that song a lot. It's a very nicely, like Rafi has done such a good job in that song.
Yeah.
I like that. And then, of course, I would say I like Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi, of course. That one, all the songs and that medley, who can forget in that movie?
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone had done such a long medley before in Hindi movies, and every song in that is, and I think in that also he sang one of the
Tum Kya Jano.
Yeah, that was good. How many did I say? 3 or 4?
3. You said Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi, Amar Prem, and
Tisri Manzil. Yeah, then.
So let me tell you mine. So
yeah,
my first in the list would be Andhi. Music of Andhi has left like an everlasting impact on me, especially R.D. Burman, who was known for his fast-paced Western influenced music. Andhi is one album which is completely different from a lot of his albums, right? Starting from Tum Aa Gaye Ho to Tere Bina Zindagi Mein. Amazing composition. And Kishore and Lata, they possibly have two of their best duets in this movie, right? Tum Aa Gaye Ho and Tere Bina Zindagi. Loved the composition of Andhi, and it went really well with the mood of the movie. It was a very somber kind of a movie, and it needed that kind of music. So that was amazing. Picking 3 is really hard. The other album I really like is Ijazat.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
So Mera Kuch Saman is possibly my most favorite song of a female playback singer song ever. And
not an easy song to sing as well.
Oh,
if you want to see if someone can sing, you should ask them to sing this song, and
if you can do justice to this song, I think you can manage any song.
Yeah.
And again, an interesting trivia. So if you look at the composition of the lyrics of this song, it was very hard to when the lyrics were written by Gulzar. So this was one of the songs.
That's true with most of Gulzar songs.
Right. So he wrote the lyrics first, and then R.D. Burman had to create the music. And if you hear the lyrics, they don't have a constant pattern, right?
Yeah.
So even if you see the length of every sentence in the songs, they are very, very different. So when the lyrics have been written in such a way which don't follow a certain meter in certain sense, it's hard to compose music to that.
Yeah.
So this one was, I think, a musical genius. And then of course the other song, Katra Katra.
Yeah.
The way Asha Bhosle has sung the songs in this movie is unbelievable.
Even the other one I really love is the Choti Si Kahani Se.
Choti Si Kahani. Oh yeah. Oh, unbelievable. And it's so Gulzar and Asha Bhosle got a national award for Mera Kuch Saman, and R.D. Burman didn't get it. which was again very interesting to me.
Hmm.
Now, third, I mean, I have so many, I don't know which one to
It's
leave
hard
out.
actually. Yeah.
I'll pick 1942, and then we can talk about some of his other, famous
Yeah,
songs.
1942, and
1942,
also like last movie that he gave all the music in, because his last song was, I think, in that movie Ghatak. But he only had one song in the movie. Then Anu Malik had to do the rest of the music. But the whole movie being R.D. Burman, his last was 1942. So that makes it all the more special.
yeah. And
And I think
which was your favorite song from 1942? My favorite was Kuch Na Kaho. That was hands down favorite of mine.
my favorite song in that Kuch Na Kaho I like, but my favorite song was the female solo that she sings.
Dil ne kaha chupke se.
Yeah, I like that song a lot.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
find it
again,
okay.
I'm not going to
Hard
argue
to-
there because each song of that movie was a gem by itself. I mean, it was amazing. And this movie I think released in 94, 95. That is when most Hindi movies, the music was definitely, going away from melody, and it was more noise and upbeat tunes. But
You mean Oye Oye and all
1942
those?
was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think a big thing you have to understand is for most of his career, like you said, if he had been a music director today, I think his music would have sounded so different already, because 1942 was around the first time he was getting some access to the modern recording equipment, as we call it. It
Correct.
was still nothing close to what we have today. Today, it's just crazy how easy it is to just patch up some music in a digital audio workspace. Um, but he didn't have access to any of that. That's a thing to always remember. He did all this, and that's why he had to be innovative. He had to like use some like a tin foil, and all
But
these.
another interesting thing about 1942 love story music, he used only instruments that were actually present in 1942. He did not use any, modern musical instruments.
Right.
So, which was interesting. Although you're right, he had access to the modern day recording studio,
And you can tell from the quality of the audio that comes out when you listen to the songs in 1942. But yeah, he had to be so innovative. Like the song which is Bhigi Bhigi Raaton Mein. In that song, the thunder is actually this guy going against this tin.
Yeah.
Patre ka aisa hai, and then that's the thunder sound. And he did so many things like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see his band members who are still alive. Like Manohari Singh ji was he had such a
Manohari Singh, he came for one of the Saregama shows, and then the judges spoke to Manohari Singh, and he was narrating some incidents with R.D. Burman. The other thing, 1942. So the songs of 1942 he had created as far back as 1988, 87, and when he created those songs, he had Kishore Kumar in mind, right? Because this is another popular sentiment that R.D. Burman, most of his songs, when he used to create, in his mind, he used to imagine Kishore Kumar singing those songs. So the 1942s, all the songs, he had Kishore Kumar in mind when he created them earlier. But of course, Kishore Kumar had passed away in 1987. So he was, he wanted a voice which was, close to Kishore Kumar in terms of the style. Yeah. So that's why, Kumar Sanu had to actually kind of audition to sing those songs. And, the way he was able to nail that song was the Kuch Na Kaho song. Looks like the first time he came in rehearsal, he sang it really well. And that's when he was confirmed that he's going to sing the rest of the songs of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's a landmark movie, in Kumar Sanu's career.
Oh, of course. Too bad that was the only time he got to work with him. But yeah.
Yeah, but at least he can at least say that I at least got a chance to work with him, right?
Yeah.
With all the other singers after that point, did not get a chance to work with R.D. Burman. Udit Narayan, Sonu Nigam, these guys, Shan never got. Although Shan got a chance to work with him as a kid. You know that, really? Right? In Parinda, that song, as you know, the kids. Have you seen the movie Parinda? There's a song which they sing. Na ne na ne na ne na
Oh
ne
yeah, yeah. As a
dosti
kid.
hum. So Shan actually sang that song as a kid.
Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting.
So
So
at
he's
least he
also
got an
very.
opportunity to work with R.D. Burman. So,
Was R.D. Burman friends with Shan's father?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Manas Chakrabarti and R.D. Burman knew each other.
that's really nice though. Didn't know that.
Yeah, so there are these three movies, but again, let's list some of his other really good ones. So you want to go first, and then I have a list, some notable mentions that we didn't mention in our top three.
Well, Sholay was good. I thought really Sholay. Also the background score. I think he only did the mouth organ part. I really like that Amitabh plays
Mhm.
when she's like lighting those lamps and all.
Yeah.
Some small moments. The music was really really good. I do like the music of Parinda also, especially 2 or 3 of the songs I really like.
Tumse Milke.
And then Pyar Ke Mode Pe Chodoge Jo Bahe Meri. I really like love those songs. I think it's hard to.
Before I forget, a couple again, maybe not the whole
Kudrat
album.
was also very good.
Which one?
Kudrat, Hame Tumse Pyar
Kudrat.
Kitna,
Yeah.
Mere Naina Sawan Bhado, all those were very good songs.
No, Mere Naina Sawan Bhado was Mehbooba.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was Kudrat, no?
No, it was Mehbooba.
That one also, like Kishore nailed it so well. He practiced a lot apparently, but he nailed that song.
Yeah, Mere Naina Sawan Bhado, right? We talked about it in the Kishore episode also, right? About
Okay.
Mere Naina Sawan Bhado.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
amazing music.
So couple of songs which again, just
Oh,
came
Satya
to
Pe
my
Satya
mind
also,
right
Satya
now,
Pe
that,
Satya.
maybe not the whole album.
Sorry,
One
Satya Pe
was
Satya. Satya Pe
Satya Pe
Satya.
Satya. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but couple of songs. One was, it was a movie called Jiva. I think the song was sung by Asha Bhosle and Amit Kumar.
Rose Rose Aankhon Tale.
Rose Aankhon Tale, yes.
Yeah.
That song. Then there was a song from a movie called Samundar. It was sung by Lata Mangeshkar. The song went like, Aisa Sama la 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 la. That song again. Something about that tune which is very, very haunting.
How could I forget? In my top 3, I'll have to remove one and put Sagar in there.
Yeah.
Sagar.
But Sagar, the title song, R.D. Burman himself has used in another movie.
Yeah. Especially that la 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 la.
No, not that one. But the whole piece, the main tune. Sagar kinare.
Oh, I thought you were saying Chehra Hai
Dil
Acha.
ye pukare. That particular tune he's used in multiple songs.
Oh, he has done that in quite a bit of songs actually. But that song, la 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 la, that part, that Bengali song, Tumi ko tujhe dure, tate ekta ache na, na 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 na.
Yeah.
And Hindi again, Aaja Meri Jaan, S.P. Balasubramaniam sang that song.
No, Sagar,
Again,
now that you talk about it, Sagar had some amazing compositions, right? I like that song also, the one Shailendra Singh and Asha Bhosle sang.
Yeah. And Sach Mere Yaar Hai.
Sach Mere Yaar Hai. Then, of course, Yun Hi
Gaate Raho.
Yun Hi Gaate Raho. O Maria.
I don't know if they had sung duet before, SP and Kishore together, but that sounded really good actually. And his voice suited Kamal Hassan a lot, and of course Kishore's voice suited Rishi Kapoor a lot. So that was a really good choice.
Yeah. So the other album I really liked was Ghar.
Oh yeah, Ghar.
Aapki Aankhon Mein Fir Wahi. Amazing song.
And Tere Bina Jiya Jaye Na also.
Tere Bina Jiya Jaye Na. Oh yeah. How could I forget that?
And in that, what he did was, again, that I had never heard in Hindi music before. I still haven't heard it a lot. So he actually had to get that sound. So I was trying to play that on the tabla for a person, but I realized I needed 3 tablas to get that sound. He tuned 3 tablas in 3 different notes, and then the guy was actually doing ding, ding, and that's usually not how you play tabla. So it was like what they call tabla tarang, but he used that in a song, and it sounds amazing. That sounds so good in the song.
Okay, it again just hit me again. Another R.D. Burman song that he sung I really liked was Aaja Meri Jaan.
Yeah, yeah.
Aaja.
SP Balasubramaniam sang that, but the Bengali one he sang.
Bengali one, yeah, the Bengali one he sang.
Tumi Koto Je Dure.
Right.
That one
Amazing,
is amazing.
amazing. And then, of course, how can we forget Masoom?
Oh yeah.
Again, a completely different genre of music,
Genre
right?
of music, yeah.
Tujhse
Masoom was also
Naraz, Huzur Is Qadar, of course, Lakdi Ki Kathi. He also did possibly the most popular kids song, right? Lakdi Ki Kathi, I think, is if
It's
not
still-
the most, it's one of the most popular kids songs in Hindi cinema.
Yeah. Still
Then
like
my favorite song of that movie was actually Do Naina. I don't know, somehow I loved the tune. of
yeah.
that song.
That's Hamayanti Shukla, correct?
No, Aarti Mukherjee.
Aarti Mukherjee. Yeah.
I
Amazing.
loved that song, and the tune, it was amazing.
Yeah.
What else?
That's probably my favorite song of that movie too. Do Naina.
Yeah.
That's definitely, yeah. And it's
I
very
think what
classical
really stood
based.
out
It's-
about his music was, he somehow got typecast into being somebody who's influenced by Western music a lot. But then, if you really look at his body of work, he's done so many different genres of movies and songs that he's composed.
Yeah, man. I mean, this Mere Naina is based again on Chivaranjani Rag. It's totally based on the Rag. Then Do Naina is Yaman. That is also totally Rag based. So many of his songs are like out and out classical Rag based. So yeah, I
Then
mean,
the Kudrat song, the one which Kishore sang, and then even
Parveen-
Shamshad Begum or somebody who's
Parveen
no,
Sultana.
she sang
Hame Tumse Pyar
Hame
Kiya.
Tumse Pyar.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Amazing composition.
Yeah, I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, legend. It's just too bad that he couldn't be around more, because we would have gotten so much more with all the modern technology and things like that, where you don't even have to sing at the same time. You just have to. I mean, getting schedule was becoming, I'm sure, harder and harder, and so you don't even need everyone in the one place at the same time. You can just get the singers to sing. If anything, nowadays you can just get the singer to sing on a metronome or a beat and just tell them what the feel is of the song. Then you can add song music. So yeah, but
Singing
it's a good
live
and a
was-
bad thing.
Singing live, had a completely different feel, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
singing with a live orchestra. Even if one note, went out of place, they would have to start again. So it was amazing.
yeah. I mean,
Now
I
with
don't.
digital, it's so much easier. But these guys used to.
Yeah, every line you have to just
major
sing once
arrangements.
now. You have to sing every line once, then you can copy paste the same thing as long as you get it
Correct.
right one time. So yeah, I mean, I wonder how the singers today would have fared back in those days when they had to give one take. I don't think many of them would have made it.
Yeah.
Maybe only a few.
So now let's talk about some awards. So R.D. Burman surprisingly got only 3 Best Music Director Filmfare Awards. And the first one came like rather late because, if you remember, 66 was when he had his first hit, which was Teesri Manzil. But the first time he got the award for Best Music Director was which movie? Somu. This question is for you.
Not sure. When was this?
1981, Sanam Teri Kasam.
Oh, really? Surprising.
Yeah, because he had so many great albums before that, but the first time he got
I mean,
award was
don't get me wrong, Sanam Teri Kasam is also a good album, but
a very good album. But he has so
he
many
had done
better
better
albums.
work before already for quite a bit. So I mean,
Right.
surprising that he got the first one for
That
Sanam.
was his first. His second was Masoom the following year.
That's of course well deserved, but yeah.
Right, and then the last one he got was, of course, posthumously, 1942.
For 1942, yeah.
And in the 80s, his career kind of fizzled out, and again, there is no logical explanation for that because somehow music directors like Bapi Lahiri and these guys ended up getting a lot of work. R.D. Burman, I think he was a bit of a loner. I think that had a role to play in him kind of struggling in the 80s, right? In the 80s, the other music directors kind of came to the forefront more than R.D. Burman. Lakshmikant
Yeah,
Pyarelal.
Bappi
Bappi
Lahiri
Lahiri
also.
became big, and Bappi Lahiri kind of, again to a less extent, but he was also kind of in
Western
R.D.
influence.
Burman's genre,
Yeah,
right?
Western
Because
influence was there.
again, some Western influences, and somehow Bappi Lahiri ended up getting a lot more projects than R.D. Burman in the 80s.
Mhm.
R.D. Burman would get, one of these, one odd movie. And unfortunately, at that time, what used to happen, even though music was really good, the movies didn't work. I mean, an example was Pukar, where R.D. Burman gave music for the Amitabh Bachchan, Ranbir Kapoor movie. The music was really good. Pukar.
You're
That
right.
Samundar
Kishore
pe
had refused
nahake
to sing,
and
right?
Maike
Kishore refused to
Majjayo.
sing.
Sorry?
Kishore refused to sing in that, right? So he sang.
No, Kishore didn't. There was a time when Kishore came back again to sing for Amitabh Bachchan. Oh, no, sorry. No, you're right. Kishore refused to sing for Amitabh, but he sang for Ranbir Kapoor.
Yeah.
Bach ke rehna re Baba. Yes. You're right.
So I
And,
think most of Amitabh's songs are R.D. Burman playback, right?
in that movie, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Samundar mein nahake and Bach ke rehna re Baba. Then Amitabh sang one song himself, Maike Majjayo.
Yeah.
So again, the movie didn't do well. Samundar, another movie that didn't do well. Zabardast. So bunch of his movies didn't do well commercially. And, I think back in the days, it was important for the movie to do well in most cases, for even the music to get a lot of popularity.
Mhm.
Then 87, 88, there were a bunch of movies that were lined up. Again, Kishore Kumar passed away. And as a result, again, R.D. Burman ended up losing those movies as well. So it was actually awfully brave of Vidhu Vinod Chopra to get R.D. Burman to give music for 1942,
Yeah,
because
and
he had virtually no work around that time. From the late 80s, 88, 89 to 91, 92, 93, he had very little work. He had those 1-2 songs, like you mentioned. Ghatak was one of them, right? One of the last songs. And which song did he do from Ghatak? Koi Jaaye To Le Aaye, was it?
No. That was Anwar. Like he did a song called Suresh Wadkar sang it. Nigaahon ne chheda hai dil ka tarana.
Okay, I don't
Sunkar
remember.
kahin na tum bura maan jana. That song, I mean, it didn't do that great, as big as the movie was a hit, but yeah. But yeah, Suresh Wadkar sang the last one for him. But too bad he didn't live to see the success of 1942.
Yeah, he passed away when he was only 55.
And he had pretty hard times towards the end, with projects and all those things.
Yeah, financially he was struggling, throughout the 80s. Looks like. In fact, I just remembered Amit Kumar. He had a huge role in Amit Kumar's career, right?
Mhm.
I mean, Amit Kumar, most of the great songs that Amit Kumar sung was for R.D. Burman, starting from his Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, Balika Vadhu, all the way to Teri Kasam, Love Story.
Mhm.
R.D. Burman was the one who gave Amit Kumar a break, and he was the one who articulated to Amit Kumar that don't try to be Kishore Kumar. There is only one Kishore Kumar. Just do your own thing. And his Amit Kumar had a his singing technique might not have been the best, but I think he had a very pleasant voice, and he had a very fresh voice, and that's what R.D. Burman was able to highlight. And Amit Kumar, because of R.D. Burman, I think he had a, especially in the early 80s, he had a decent run. Late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s.
Because they were better singers than him for sure, I'd say.
Correct.
But yeah. Yeah.
What else?
I have a list of some of the really, really hit songs and the original song of those. So there is a song called Mehbooba Mehbooba from Sholay, which is that was about 8 years before Demis Roussos came out with Say You Love Me. Then Tumse Milke is Lee Sayers' When I Need You. Some of these might surprise you. Chura Liya Hai Tumne Jo Dil Ko is a song called If It's Tuesday by Bonjora.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Jeevan Ke Har Mode Pe, the one you sang, that's actually a Santana song.
Mhm.
And
There are a couple of other Santana songs that you would see traces in R.D. Burman's music.
yeah, but this is like pretty direct. Jeevan ke har mode pe. That's like the guitar solo he's playing on that in that song. देखता हूँ कोई लड़की हंसी from सनम तेरी कसम is a song called Mustafa Mustafa. मिल गया हमको साथी is a ABBA song called Mamma Mia. जीवन के दिन छोटे सही is a song called Love Story by Francis Lai. How Twist Kare is like, that's a pretty direct one, which is Come Let's Twist Again by Chubby Checker. तेरा मुझसे है पहले का नाता कोई is surprisingly it is actually an Elvis Presley song called The Yellow Rose of Texas.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
And फिर वही रात है, which is one of my such a favorite songs, but that is a song by Carpenters called Sing a Song. And कहीं करती होगी वो मेरा इंतजार is Herb Alpert, The Lonely Bull. Dilbar Mere is a song by Doris, which is again Dilbar Mere is like hubahu hai ekdam. It's not even like a little bit or anything. It's like same. And then हाँ देखे जरा is Jeff Wayne's Eve of the War. हाँ जब तक है जहाँ is an Iranian singer called Gugush, and the song is called Prelude of Jomeh. And जहाँ तेरी ये नजर है मेरी जहाँ मुझे खबर है, that is a song called Hele Mali, which is I think again some Arabic guy. But you just see how many different all over the place it is. But nevertheless, these
but
songs
I'll tell you, I think today's music directors have one big disadvantage, right? It's much harder for them to lift songs
because everyone has access.
Because
to
everybody has
everything.
access to music from all over the world. I think that's an advantage because I was looking. There is another list that Shankar Jaikishan songs that they have copied, and all the music directors of the past have again they've gotten inspired. So I think Anu Malik and Pritam just got a bad rap, but I think there are a lot other music directors.
There's very few exceptions, probably like Madan Mohan and all these guys, but they were not appreciated in their time anyways, so they died pretty sad death. But yeah, that's right. And it's not just that everyone can find out where it's been lifted from, but they will post out a video on YouTube telling everyone else about it.
Correct.
Even if someone is not looking to find the song.
Correct. That's correct. There are so many videos like that, right? Yeah. In fact, I saw one of A.R. Rahman as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
I saw one of A.R. Rahman where they had mentioned, the 10 A.R. Rahman songs which were copied from other songs.
I'm not surprised.
Like I said, I think the current music directors have that one disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's end it on a musical note, Somu. So why don't you sing a few lines of some of your favorite R.D. Burman songs?
My voice is shaking actually, Abhishek, right now because of the thing I was telling you about. So I'll just sing one or two lines.
Yeah, that's fine.
फिर वही रात है, फिर वही रात है ख्वाब की, ओ रात भर ख्वाब में देखा करेंगे तुम्हें, फिर वही रात है. That's it.
Excellent. Love that song.
You go.
Okay.
You end with one.
Again, so it is. I don't think it's a wise decision to go after you, but I'll try.
No, I'm unable to sing right now, but here you go.
आपकी आंखों में कुछ महके हुए से राज है, आपसे भी खूबसूरत आपके अंदाज है, आपकी आंखों में कुछ.
Awesome.
Your turn now. Let's do a few songs.
दिलबर मेरे कब तक मुझे ऐसे ही तड़पाओगे, मैं आग दिल में लगा दूंगा वो कि पल में पिघल जाओगे। ओ एक दिन आएगा प्यार हो जाएगा। ओ मैं आग दिल में लगा दूंगा वो कि पल में पिघल जाओगे, कि पल में पिघल जाओगे।
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Love the song. And of course, I have always loved your singing, so
Thank
you
you.
know that.
Yes.
What should I sing? Okay, I'll sing. So this is my father's favorite song. दिए जलते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं, दिए जलते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं, दुनिया में दुनिया में दोस्त मिलते हैं, दिए जलते हैं, किस वक्त क्या था, what was it?
जब जिस वक्त
जब जब जिस वक्त किसी का यार जुदा होता है,
कुछ ना पूछो
जो हाल बुरा होता है,
दिल
ला ला ले दिल पे जैसे नाने तीर चलते हैं, आहा दिए जलते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं, दुनिया में कहीं, दुनिया में दोस्त मिलते हैं, दिए जलते हैं.
So excellent song. So this we should. I'll just sing the second part and we can end there.
Perfect.
दौलत और जवानी एक दिन खो जाती है, कुछ ना पूछो सारी दुनिया दुश्मन हो जाती है। दौलत और जवानी एक दिन खो जाती है, कुछ ना पूछो सारी दुनिया दुश्मन हो जाती है। उम्र भर दोस्त लेकिन साथ चलते हैं, आहा। सही, good.
Excellent, excellent. So I think let's wrap things up on that,
All right,
that
that was good.
musical note.
Yeah.
But again, R.D. Burman, Panchamda, you will always remain in our memories, and your music will definitely outlive all of us. Again,
Yeah.
thanks for giving us these amazing compositions, and you continue to inspire a lot of professional musicians and also music lovers like us. And we will continue to enjoy your music.
Always.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'll spend my day-to-day doing after having such a long discussion. But you can stop the recording and then I'll just tell you, I have to give you feedback about your one other video you did.
Yeah. So let me just close this video out, Somu. So again, those who've been supporting my channel, really appreciate all the support and love that I'm getting. Please continue to watch our videos. If you have any suggestions regarding what we should do next, please do so. Also, just a quick reminder, next Saturday, which is the 20th, on my other cricket channel, Jamie Alter, son of Tom Alter, the actor from Indian movies, is going to be on my other channel. We'll be talking about cricket and the India-England series. So please tune into that if you're interested. Again, thanks for everything, guys. Also, one request I have, you guys go and view the videos, but the way the YouTube algorithm works, you need to hit the like button, which is the thumbs up sign, because unless you hit that, the algorithm is not going to pick it up, and it will not be displayed on other when others are going through YouTube. So that's one request I have. Also, a lot of people are liking the video on Facebook. That again doesn't do anything for our channel. What I would request you is to like the videos on YouTube. Add any comments, if you like it, if there are any, suggestions for improvements of, how we could do this, they are most welcome. And please subscribe to the channel. That's really important. With that, we are going to close the session today. Again, thanks, Somu, for being
Thank
part
you
of
so
this.
much. It
And
was
hope
so
to
much,
see you in
such
many
a
more
pleasure
sessions.
joining you and reminiscing over some really good old songs of R.D. Burman. So
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
lot of
loved
fun.
it.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.